Hi there, and welcome to another episode of African Business Stories, your insight into female innovators and entrepreneurs building and running businesses in Africa. I'm Akaego Okoye, and this is the last episode of Season 1. It's been an incredible few months, and I thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. You've heard me reference the World Bank data, which indicates that Africa is the only region in the world where more women than men choose to be entrepreneurs. Put differently, Africa has the highest concentration of female entrepreneurs, accounting for almost a third of all businesses on the continent. Basically, the story of business in Africa is the story of the African businesswoman, and we are here for this woman. We want to find her. We want to tell her story, and we want other women to be inspired by her. In Season 1, I interviewed 20 incredible women from 10 different African countries. There were so many takeaways, and I'd like to briefly reflect on 3 of them: why women start businesses, building a legacy business, and the challenge of access to finance. There are many reasons women start businesses, and in speaking to my guests, 2 stood out to me. Some were driven by passion, like my guest Aisha Yensu in episode 19, who had been passionate about fashion her whole life. She left university and with no experience dived straight into her fashion business. There are those who are not necessarily driven by passion, but who intentionally sought out opportunities and gaps in the market, like Monica Musonda in episode 9, who left a career in law and, driven by the desire to start a business in her home country, Zambia, sought out gaps in the food manufacturing space. No matter how you come to entrepreneurship, the goal remains to solve a problem. On legacy, I saw a common theme in most of the interviews: a preoccupation with building legacy brands and companies, and the steps that they are taking to achieve this. In my chat with Ndidi Munyali in episode 1, she expressed her intentional approach to building and training the next generation of leaders. Joycey Awoshika in episode 15 has developed standard operating procedures that ensure that her business can run without her. She has turned this solution into a business and is making it available for other small business owners. I think the interview that best illustrates this legacy point is my conversation with Miss Petwa and Jocelyn Katiba in episode 14. Miss Petwa is the co-founder of the company, and Jocelyn is the second-generation CEO. Their story is a lesson in how to successfully execute business succession. In terms of access to finance, it is one of the major challenges women face doing business in Africa. There are other challenges, but I'm focusing on access to finance for this piece. In all my conversations, we talk about financing, and my guests explain how they overcome and continue to overcome this challenge. In my conversation with Ms. Moa Budu in episode 4, she talked about the creative ways she raised finance early on in her business, including selling part of one business. She said to me that it's better to own part of something than nothing at all. My guest Valerie Traore in episode 10 sold everything she owned to raise the seed money to start her business in Senegal. Flora Mutahi in episode 13 got her mother to co-sign a loan. And Ehime Aiwe Akindele in episode 16 has raised an incredible amount of money from doing pitch competitions. There's still so much that needs to be done to create a better enabling environment for women doing business in Africa. But on the whole, I have been greatly inspired by the resilience and tenacity of my guests, and I hope you have been too. I also ran a special series around Father's Day titled Lessons and Legacy, where I spoke to 9 men from across Africa. They shared some of their life lessons and the legacy they would like to leave for their children. The special series is available on my website, www.africanbusinessstories.com. I've been asked by many to release the special series on podcast platforms, and just to say that we are going to do this, so look out for it. As we embark on curating season 2, our goal is to bring you more African business stories of resilience and impact. We're committed to a Pan-African approach, and we're looking to interview at least one woman from each of the 54 African countries. While we wait for season 2, be sure to catch up on any episode you may have missed and re-listen to your favorites. Do let us know your thoughts on these episodes by leaving a review on iTunes or Apple Podcast. And be sure to subscribe so you know when season 2 starts. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate all the support and wish you a wonderful holiday season. I am Akaego Okoye, and you have been listening to African Business Stories.